What's up, you guys? It's Sussan Mourad here with Clevver News. And in a new interview, Katy Perry has opened up about everything, from making up with Taylor Swift to her mental health struggles and her baby on the way. Alright, you guys, so Katy Perry sat down with Howard Stern on Tuesday for a new interview.
Katy's here. She got a new album, Smile, drops on August 14th.
Well, I'm about to drop a lot of stuff, actually, and my uterus is dropping right now as we speak. So.
They started off by talking about her new album and how important her single, Smile, is to her.
I did a ton of edits on that because it was really important for me to get that story right, because it really tells, you know, the whole definition, or it's the opus of the record and the journey that I kind of went through for the past 2.5 years to get here.
And speaking of things Katy has gone through over the past 2.5 years, we all know that Katy and Taylor Swift famously and publicly made up after the years-long feud last summer. As fans know, the two stars were friends at first, but had a massive falling out over things like backup dancers, boys, and other celebrities. I'm not going to rehash all of that here today because, you know, it's 2020 and there's enough negativity in the world right now and we've all moved on.
I'm not about that negativity.
Katy and Taylor's on-again, off-again feud went on for almost a decade until they officially put the bad blood behind them last summer. They reunited at the end of Taylor's music video for her song You Need to Calm Down, dressed as a hamburger and French fries, and it was an iconic moment none of us will ever forget. And in the Howard Stern interview, Katy opened up about why it was so important for her and Taylor Swift to publicly put their conflict behind them. The goal was to set an example for young women. Katy said, quote, "Gossip and lies, they take the elevator, but truth takes the stairs. What I'm so grateful for is we did get to make up, and we made up publicly to be an example of redemption." She continued on saying, quote, "It's hard for young girls growing up with cliques and high school and pettiness and all that stuff, so now we're super friendly and I've always wanted the best for her and we can talk about the best we want for each other." And fans on Twitter are still so glad to see Katy and Taylor as friends now instead of enemies. Since the interview, they have been tweeting things like, "My two beautiful queens. I love that Taylor Swift and Katy Perry are friends again. Seriously, I think about it once a week and it makes me smile." And there are tons of people begging them to collaborate. And while we would love nothing more than a Katy-Taylor collaboration, Katy's got more pressing things to focus on right now, aka her baby girl who's coming very soon. While she didn't reveal her exact due date, she said the baby is coming soon, and thankfully she's, quote, "not anxious at all about it." Katy said that she feels super blessed and admitted that she's had a really easy pregnancy. She also jokingly said that if the baby is anything like her mom, she'll arrive late, right before showing off her belly in the interview.
Let me see your belly. Wow, look at that.
And before we dive into talking about this next part of the interview, I just wanted to give a quick trigger warning that Katy gets into some heavy topics like mental health and suicide, so please only continue watching if you feel comfortable doing so. We've also linked some resources down in the description below in case you or anyone you know needs them. Alright, so Katy also candidly discussed how she battled depression while making her new album. She said, quote, "It was more than I had ever faced in my life. I had bouts of depression before, but I had been able to avoid falling into the really dark depression by making music. It's like all these things you do to distract. You eat, you work, you get a new boyfriend, you shop." Katy went on and explained that she was, quote, "so ashamed about being on medication because I was like, I wrote Firework, but it was one of those things where I'd sprained my brain a little bit." Katy also credited her fiancé and father to their soon-to-be-born baby girl, Orlando Bloom, for supporting her through all the ups and downs of her mental health struggles. She talked about how when she even contemplated suicide at one point, Orlando accompanied her to a week-long stay at the Hoffman Institute, which she said focuses on rewiring your neural pathways through psychological and spiritual exercises. Katy said, quote, "He's the only one that could handle it, and that's why we're in this position. I showed him all of it, and I still test him, and he still shows up, and he still is not fazed by it, and that's why he is perfect for me. Because I'm a lot." And bringing it back to her upcoming album, Katy talked about the image of a clown, which she portrays on the album's cover, because she remembered that her music has always had a playful side that somehow got lost in the sauce. She said, quote, "A smile is such an indication of mental health, a physical alert of your mental health." And we're just so glad that Katy is in a happy, healthy place before the release of her album and the birth of her baby girl. And we honestly can't wait for both. And if you want even more on Katy and Taylor's friendship, you can click right over here for another Clevver video. Then be sure to let me know all your thoughts on Katy's interview and her friendship with Taylor right here in the comment section below. I'm your host, Sussan Mourad. I'll catch you later. Bye guys.